Welcome back to our channel, guys. And today we have a special guest from Computer Science Department, and I will also be part of this discussion representing the mighty mechanical branch. So let's start with the guest. Uh, Please introduce yourself, Meet.
Hello viewers, this is Mehta. I live in Ahmedabad and my branch is CSE. I'm from the batch 2016-2020. Hi Karthik, can you please give your intro?
I'm Karthik and I'm from Hyderabad. I'm a mechanical engineering pass out of 2020 batch, and I'll be joining IIM Indore this year. And for all our viewers, Meet is going to join the Samsung Research Institute in Bangalore this year, and we hope he succeeds in all his endeavors. So, Meet, how did you end up in NIT Warangal out of all the places you've got?
So my journey was an interesting one. Like after 11th and 12th, I pursued computer science. I liked the subject, and before giving JEE, I filled all the top 3 NIT CSE department in the choice filling form. So once the results came out, I first went into NIT Surathkal. I waited for better results since at that time NIT Warangal was above NIT Surathkal, and then in second round I got into NIT Warangal and I froze the option.
I believe you have made a good choice by coming to NIT Warangal. About me, coming to mechanical branch was both by choice and by chance. I couldn't get a good rank to get an EC or CSE, but I was happy with mechanical, and so it has been a wonderful journey and lots of memories which have been in it. I'll just ask you, how was CSE, considering that first year we have all common branches, people sitting together having a common class. So after that, moving to CSE, just describe the entire experience of this, like the total change, whatever you have experienced.
Yeah, sure. So, as you said, in the first year, we all had the common subjects. From second year onwards, the core CSE subjects started, like DS, DAA, like DS data structures and data algorithm analysis. And I feel second year is the most important in computer science because the subjects which we learn will affect us in getting our internships and which will affect us in getting our placements. So, all the viewers, it's very mandatory to focus on all the subjects in the second years, irrespective of which college you go into, because and be consistent with all the assignments you get. Be consistent with the coding, because in what I have felt from my personal experience, the subjects like DS and DAA, consistent coding is very frequent because once you get lost the touch of it, coming back to it is kind of difficult. And for any further internships or placements, these 2 subjects would be like one of the most important factors on which you will be judged. And from 3rd and 4th years, there are many different subjects like cloud computing is there, image processing is there, and there are many different electives you want to choose. Those subjects are just an introduction to what you will get into industry. And it's an interesting, and all the professors are good, but I would recommend that self-study will be, a boon to you, because whatever the course structure is kind of limited. And being in CSE, the course structure is way too vast. So if you practice assignments, you do projects by yourself, it would be always helpful to you. So Karthik, what's your say to mechanical engineers from second year onwards? How was your experience?
Again, like CSE department, mechanical engineer for mechanical engineers, the second year subjects are really important. Subjects like thermodynamics, fluid mechanics are all covered in the second year. So these are the core subjects. So everything which you get in 3rd and 4th year are built on these basic core topics. And especially the 4 subjects in the second year, thermodynamics, fluid mechanics, material engineering, strength of materials. These 4 form the main core subjects of entire mechanical engineering. These are repeated in different interviews and placement processes. So I advise everyone to take these courses easily. Tough, like put in a lot of effort into these subjects, so that will make your entire journey in mechanical engineering easy. And in addition to that, so all the mechanical engineers sitting in your batch will be undergoing these courses. So to differentiate yourself, you need to be involved in other mini projects or any large projects you want to do. So mechanical engineering is like one branch where these projects have a lot of teams and they have interviews as well. So after that, there's also a lot of life lessons you learn. Like coming from the JEE background, like you are smashed into a class of 80 students, and coming up from that into the college, you basically lack the understanding of handling people, talking to people, getting people to work together, getting work done from different people. And in these projects, you get to know how to get all these experiences. Always important that you develop skills in computer languages like MATLAB. So these are very much essential. In addition to that, you can also learn solid modeling softwares which help you in design. So some companies which come for design profiles look into these aspects. They expect people to know these softwares. So it really increases the chances of getting into companies. So Meet, just tell the viewers about some tips they could follow in order to like help their CSE journeys.
So I would recommend that once you learn a language, try to do a project. There are n number of tutorials and online projects available. Just stick to one of them. And once you're done with any tutorial, something like that, experiment with what you have made. Try to change some small bit of it and try to add some small contribution to that existing thing. That would give you a joy of having a feeling that you have made something new from the current existing version. Plus, while experimenting, you will face many bugs. Okay, I tried to doing this, but it didn't work. So rectifying those bugs is one of the major one of the major teaching thing that would and make you analyze that, okay, people used to make this type of mistakes, and I should avoid this from now on, or something like that. So working on projects, plus there will be languages, there will be teaching that there will be courses on HTML and CSS. Now they would teach you how what all can be done, but just knowing that is one thing, but actually trying that at your home, they won't tell you that, okay, make a website from your own site. They will just teach you that if you want to make a website, you can do this. But what I suggest is that you actually practice those things and try to build a website while learning the course. That will, give you a different kind of experience. And once you make a project, you become way too comfortable. So when you enter into industry, so you can, proudly say that I have worked on this and I'm familiar with working on this. So it gives a upper hand as compared to someone who just knows the language but haven't ever worked on it. What about you, Karthik? Any further tips you want to give to viewers?
So I feel is any person in a college is like a frog in a well. So he needs to know what's going on. So there are a bunch of peer people in your current batch, but in addition to that, you need to know what people are doing outside. There are much better colleges that we need to accept are really good, like the IITs, where people are doing something different. You might be doing something different as well, but try to get exposure to what people are doing outside. So the main thing where you can learn this is from participating in external competitions, maybe design challenges or maybe some racing team challenge. Some people might also get a chance to internship, so where people from all around the country come there. So learn from experience, talk to people, talk to as many people as possible. It's also that you need to interact with people from different backgrounds. And main thing which I would say is many people might not like the branch you have been taking, but it is important that after 4 years you need to survive in this engineering for 4 years, and you can't do it without liking the subjects. You can't succeed in anything which you don't like. So I will request, see, there were some subjects which I didn't like completely, like thermodynamics, but in my second year there was a sir, so he introduced it so brilliantly that I started liking the subject, and in many interview processes I have given that example as my favorite subject. So in the end, it is mainly that be open, like don't be rigid about your opinions, be open to changes, try maintaining the enthusiasm which you come with after JE and put them into the first 2 years, so that you get a very good third and fourth year experiences. So that's from my end. Okay, now moving on from the academics thing, let's go to the fun part, which most of our viewers will be waiting for. So meet something else, like what was the one achievement which you could share, like the happy moments of your BTech life?
Well, there were actually many happy moments, but the one moment which I would definitely not forget ever was the day which I got internship. It was 23rd August. I remember the whole day, like every instant of it. I can still remember it today. So our placement season started, I think, almost a month back, and I was shortlisted for every company which was coming to it. I went to the interviews, but for some reasons I was not able to make past the interviews. Like for interviews for internships, there are one or two technical rounds, and then there is a managerial round. So I used to make to either technical round 1 or technical round 2. But after that, like either it was my mistake or the expectation from the company might be different from what they saw in me. So, and there's also always a luck factor. So just keep in mind that you might not get in which company you want to get. Only 10% of the whole students might get in the choice of the placement. Other 90% just stuck with what they get, and it's just a start to the industry. That continuous efforts bagged me the internship, and then eventually the pre-placement offer from the company. So that day is one of the most memorable in my life. Okay, Karthik, what about you? Which one is the most memorable moment in our college life?
Getting an internship is memorable for everyone, so that was also my most happy moment. I also remember the date, it's 6th August, but still I would rate the other experience as more happier than that. The thing with the next was, like, I was the part of an epicycle team which participated in the competition in LPU, Lovely Professional University. So when we went there, we were confident that our vehicle would win the competition, but we had an acceleration test. I was the driver, I was the culprit also. So when we chose a target time that we will there's a 100-meter track and you need to cover it in the least possible time, so you get more points. So in that competition, we started off and slowly the vehicle started drifting off the track and we crashed into a cone. So one of the wheel came out and I was safe enough and my co-driver was also safe. Thank God for that. But there were some people in the team which felt that we'll continue sightseeing, we'll leave the competition and go. It's not going to happen. There's a wheel which has come out. There are a few members which have, like the steel members which have got bent. So repairing is not possible. But there's one team member who just said that let's start repairing. Let's just remove the entire member and we'll weld it again. So when there's one person who's enthusiastic about that, we as a team started building and like checking out what to do to like get back to the competition. And in the end, by evening, we also completed the acceleration test again. And also the next day, there was an endurance run where there's around 3 kilometers track and you need to make, in 1.5 hours, you need to make the maximum number of laps. And we completed around 13 laps after like we had the third most laps in that particular round. So after that race ended, the last final bell which was rung, then I came out of the vehicle and that was the most happiest moment. Like we haven't had a guest from outside the Telugu states right now, so you are coming from Ahmedabad, so you must have a different experience. How was that coming out of a faraway place at least? So how was the experience? How did people treat you in NIT Warangal?
So yeah, so I have been lived and brought up in Ahmedabad since birth. So till 12 to 18 years, I have always stayed in my home place, and I took everything for granted. But once I left Ahmedabad, like my home place, and came to college, things got different. Like I never expected that I had to live by my alone. Like once the first day of my college in the hostel, there was power cut. So in Ahmedabad, there are hardly any power cuts, and the whole night I had to live without fan. And there were actually no other one who arrived the hostel this early. So those small hurdles which I felt in my hostel life and this college life, taught me a lot of things. Plus, I was not very comfortable in talking with people. Like as Karthik said, these people skills are very important. Like till 12th, I was way too shy to talk to people, especially with elders or girls. But once coming to at a different place, and then this NIT Warangal, gave me lots of opportunities to explore that part of me. I joined different clubs and I held many quizzes. So that stage fear or that shyness to talking with people was completely removed. And now I can address a crowd of more than 1,000 people and I won't feel at all fear. And once in my first year, I had my 90% of my friends, Telugu friends. So Telangana, I really like all the people over there. The food is amazing. The culture is good. And all of my friends, including Karthik, have been helpful. I never felt homesick apart like 1,300 kilometers from my home. But not for a single moment, I felt that, okay, I'm away and there is no one close to me who will accompany me. All 90% of my friends, as I said, are Telugu. And from Gujarat, there are only 3 people in our whole batch. So that never affected me. They are really kind, helpful, all in the college. So try to find the best people you are comfortable with, and as I said, grab all the opportunities you get and utilize most of it. So Karthik, being from Hyderabad, what new did you find coming to our college? Like, how was your experience?
Being in Hyderabad, NIT Warangal was always the first choice, being near to home, going away on weekends and coming back on the Monday. But still, there are many opportunities which NIT Warangal gives. As you said, I was also an introvert. I was having stage fear, but right now, even if you want to, like, I can give extempore speeches to people, any gathering, any kind of people. So it all happens because of the opportunities you get in NIT Warangal. It's only that you need to go and grab them, come out of your comfort zone, try and check out how many, there are different angles to people. So you need to know what you actually are. Coming from JEE days, you don't get these opportunities at all. So you need to come to NIT Warangal, stay focused on the academics, but be always open to these opportunities, maintain some decent, good grades. And in addition to that, you need to also take up these opportunities. There's always plenty of time. It's only about time management, laziness, or that fear you have of failing. So just keep them all aside and just try and utilize everything. So there are a lot of elocution competitions, quizzing competitions. There are a number of clubs which are there. So it's only that you need to come out of your comfort zone and help yourself get these opportunities. So you want knowledge. I'm sure many of you people will get transformed completely. I still remember Meet was my first year, he was in the adjacent room. So seeing Meet and seeing myself during from that time and now interacting, it's completely different. So NIT Warangal will transform you, but the amount of transformation is just in your hands. So put it, like, utilize everything which the college throws at you, participate in everything, and that's all I can say. So the next thing is, I'd like to ask, you are also the general manager, the head of the innovation garage. So
when I came to our college, that it's one of the most coolest place in our college. It's on the second floor of one of the buildings, Shastri building. So in my first and second year, I used to always thought what is there in the building and all. And I joined it in my late second year. I joined as a R&F member, resource and facilities member, and my main task was to arrange all the hardware supplements and all. So what Innovation Garage does is, it's like if any student has any idea which they want to incorporate and build something out of it, Innovation Garage is the one-step solution. We give them all the technical help. We give them the fundings they require. We give them continuous mentorship. We give them the facilities which is not available. Like we have 3D printers, we have laser cutters. Even as Karthik mentioned, the 6 vehicle teams, they also use the facilities provided by us. And it's a student-based, run whole organization. And another cool thing about it is 24/7. So you can actually work there whole night on your amazing cool projects. Whatever you want, you get it there. We have different technical teams. So I would say that being in college, apart from academics, working on projects is one of the things. So you can come to Innovation Garage and there will be always people who would help you out. So that's from my side. And Karthik was the training and placement coordinator in our batch. So about that, what was the experience? Tell us more.
See, every person which I feel like before choosing any college, it's about the placements and how are the placements going to be? What am I going to do after the 4 years in my college? So the placement coordinator job is, I feel, is the most responsible job on campus, and something which again, which I avoided in my previous years. So before in 12th or 10th, I was the last person who would take up any responsibility. But the placement is one thing which I took up with a lot of enthusiasm. I just understanding the placement process, the way the placement coordinator handles the entire process in that first internship process. Again, a very dynamic placement coordinator was there during that time. So he was like, I idealized him because he was just so involved in that entire process, and so I just felt that I should also be in that position, taking up such an important responsibility and all that. So I just want to give a good like a presentation. It's not a presentation. Just want to tell a few things that the placements are really good in NIT Warangal. Maybe the best among the 3, at least in some fields. They are like the best, even better than some of the IITs. In the CSE placements which we get here are top class, being very near to like centers like Bangalore and Hyderabad. There are many companies which only recruit from NIT Warangal as well, and the average package is always really good. You can check it out on the institute website. And I promise you, if you like maintain that thing, then the main thing is that you need to maintain a good CGPA, something which people might try to avoid considering the freedom they get in after coming to college. But you need to put in 2 years of good effort, and the college will get you will get all the returns of that effort through the campus placements. So there are a lot of people who come from different backgrounds. You might not have had the use of communication skills through, like, you didn't have time until now to improve them. But the first 2 years, I just advise everyone to have a good communication skills and good presentation skills, good body language. So Meet, the final question, just to heighten the spirits, what was the best memory of NIT Warangal?
So this memory is from the technical fest which was there in my second year, Technosian. So during that time, there was a different kind of craze for becoming an EVM, like event manager. So you have to come up with a completely new idea and conduct the whole event by yourself. Like you need to make out the registration forms. You need to think how to attract people to come to up your event, what the event should be, for how much amount of time the event should be, how to make sure that people, feel don't feel bad after the event is over and all. So I came up with an event called Minute to Minute. So it was just a 1 minute event, and I arranged different tasks with what was available just in my room, like very, very lame and small task. But once you accomplish it, you feel a kind of joy. And I made into a very different level system, and it was really fun. I got the feeling I get after starting something from scratch, marketing it to other people, and then mouth to mouth publicity of it by the other participants. That made me feel really good. That is something about like that just give me goosebumps whenever I think about it. Karthik, what about you? Which event give you this type of
Again, fests are something which every student who comes to NIT Warangal is usually excited about, and even more excited when there are pro shows which involve really good personalities who come to perform at our college. And throughout my 4 years, we have seen very good personalities which have come. So
Yes.
one experience which I feel is my favorite is when the music director SS Taman visited our campus. It was a beautiful concert involving many good singers which had come up. But again, the silver lining to all this is that I, along with a group of friends, we got a photo opportunity with that person. So again, it was a very cheap thing which I would not have done, but at the peak of the moment, I just did not try to lose that
Felt,
opportunity.
you
But
had
again, when I think about it,
yeah.
it was a memory which I will cherish for a long time. So that is it. So thank you, me. Thank you for the session, and we hope our viewers enjoyed it. And so again, you can always subscribe to our channel to have a good glimpse. You can also message our Twitter accounts and Instagram accounts to get any doubts clarified by any of our speakers. We'll be coming up with a next
Yes,
video
yes.
soon, and so stay tuned and also click the bell icon to receive a notification whenever we release a new video. Thank